Based on the way Chesney talked about the roster, 3 themes are showing up: quarterback leadership, competition in the trenches, depth across the roster. Welcome back to UCLA Football TV, hosted by West 739. Spring ball is almost here, family. And if you've been around college football long enough, you know this is the part of the calendar where you can feel a program shifting. Not because somebody dropped some hype video, not because a recruit posted a picture in a jersey. You feel it in the air. You feel it in the language. You feel it in how coaches start talking. You feel it in how players carry themselves around the building. The urgency, it changes. The expectation changes. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this matters right now for UCLA. Lock in. Earlier this week, I was watching an interview on Bruin Report Online. They were interviewing Bob Chesney. First off, quick shout out to Bro. Been following UCLA football a long time. If you're serious about the Bruins, you already know they've been covering the program for years. So when they sat down with the head coach and started asking real football questions, that's not noise. That's a signal. And what jumped out to me immediately when I was watching that conversation with Chesney was the way he was talking about the team. It was structure. It was details, actual football problems. That's the kind of conversations you hear when a staff is focused on building something. And that's why spring ball is about to matter a lot. Because once practice starts, the talking phase ends. Now we find out what kind of team this actually is. Now, the first place that always shows up is Niko Amiliaba, is the quarterback. So let's talk about Niko. Because the way Chesney talked about Niko told me something important, not about talent. Everybody already knows Niko can throw the football. That's not the question. The real question for a quarterback stepping into a new system is leadership. And Chesney was honest about something that happens all the time in college football. When a new staff arrives, quarterbacks usually take a step back fast. They usually transfer out. They usually move on. They just normally go a different direction. And that's because the new staff brings in their own transfers. Bob Chesney had the opportunity to bring in his quarterback. Niko decided to stay, and that was actually an upgrade for Bob. Honestly, in my honest opinion, it looks like, and it feels like, they had an honest conversation with the man. I'm sure he wanted to know how the coaches operate. Most quarterbacks want to see how teammates respond. That's normal, especially when you're dealing with the new offensive system. But then Chesney said something that matters. He said Niko is starting to step forward, calling things out in the weight room, holding teammates accountable, setting the tone. And that's what we need from our quarterback. And if you watched enough football, you know that's where the quarterback leadership actually shows up first. Not on Saturdays, in the building, weight room, film sessions, practice tempo. That's actually where the teammates decide where the quarterback is actually really the guy. Now imagine the first practice of spring. The offense comes out and hit the field. The defense is talking, just trash talking. The coaches are moving around. And then Niko walks into the huddle. That's when the leadership matters. Does the offense settle down? Do guys look confident? Does communication sound sharp? You can feel the difference. And that's the kind of leadership spring ball is going to reveal. Now let's stay on the offensive side for a second, because the running back room is another group Chesney talked about. And the first name he mentioned, Anthony Woods. Not surprised at all, right? The way he described him was simple, quick, good vision, low pads, runs through contact. And if we watched enough Big Ten conference football, you already understand why that matters. Because this conference is physical. Games are long. Running backs take hits, a lot of hits. So depth in that room, it's not optional. It's mandatory. Then Chesney started mentioning other names. If you're watching this channel, you already know about the Jet. He said he was a different type of runner. Explosive, works well in space. Then he brought up Wayne Knight, another body, another style. That's a rotation. And rotations matter when you play in 9 conference games. because nobody carries the ball 25 times every week anymore. Those days are behind us. Not in this conference. You need backups. You need fresh legs. You need different styles. That's what spring practice sorts out. Now let's switch to the position group that usually tells the truth about the football team. The trenches, the offensive line, because when a head coach starts talking about offensive line, you find out real quick whether he understands football. And the way Chesney described the room told me a lot. He mentioned names: Eugene Brooks, Julian Armala, Riley Robel, Carter Swayze, Sam Young, Derek Osman. And family, the word he kept coming back to was competition, interior competition, center competition, battles for starting spots. And that's what you want to hear heading into spring practice, right? Because offensive lines don't magically appear. They grow together. Communication is going to matter. They're going to have to trust each other. Knowing how the guy next to you moves, knowing when the guard is pulling, knowing when the center is climbing, stuff like that is only built through reps. I'm talking about rep after rep after rep, hundreds of them. And spring ball is where those reps begin. Now picture 3rd and 2, the Rose Bowl crowd loud. We haven't seen that in a long time. My gut is telling me the fans are going to show up and the Rose Bowl is going to be loud. Defense stacked in the box. Those 5 guys up front, they decide to play. If the line moves people, first down, automatic. If they don't, the drive is over. We constantly talking about the trenches, but guess what? That's Big Ten football. And that's why this room matters so much. Now let's talk philosophy, because this part of the interview actually told me a lot about how the offense might look. The coach said they're starting from 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. That's going to be the base. Let's compare the two. Last year, Deshaun Foster kept everything so secretive, it backfired on him. So immediately, listening to this man talk, it made me really understand how confident he was in his ability to take us to the next level. But then he started talking about the run game, power, counters, pin and pulls, zone. And then he said something that good coaches always say. The system is going to adjust to the players, not the other way around. And that's smart football, because every roster is different. Some lines are built for zone. Some lines are built to pull. And some running backs, they see cutback lanes better than others. Spring ball is where the staff figures out what actually works. And those answers, that's what's going to shape this offense. Now let's flip to the defense, because the defensive back room is another place where Chesney dropped some real clues. He mentioned Teo Johnson. He mentioned Tayshaun James. But he also talked about players who were already in the building. Players like our boy Cole Martin, Mr. Scooter Jackson, Rodney Pleasant. We actually seen them play last year. And he actually told a story that actually says a lot about the locker room. The day he arrived at UCLA, those players were waiting in the lobby to meet him. Think about that, family. Brand new head coach, first day in the building, and players are already there, ready to introduce themselves. That tells you something. That tells you there are guys inside that locker room who care about where this program is headed. And when a new staff sees that, those relationships matter, because DBs in this conference get tested every week. Corners, safeties, nickels. The communication has to be perfect. One missed assignment, touchdown. Can't have it. We're not having it this year. Lock in. If you're not part of the family yet and you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is the opportunity to do so. Because you know we gave up too many touchdowns last year. It's not happening again. So competition in that room matters. Now let me ask you something. When spring practice starts, what position group are you watching closely? We talked about this in the last video. If you haven't seen it, I need you to lock in. It's going to be the quarterbacks, the running back, the offensive line, the DBs, the defensive line, or are you looking at the second unit like I'm looking at the second unit? I want to see what the backups are going to do. I talk about depth every week, every day, pretty much on this channel, because it's important. Drop it in the comments, because spring football always reveals something, family. Sometimes it's obvious, but sometimes it's subtle. But if you pay attention, you start seeing the identity of the team forming. And right now, based on the way Chesney talked about the roster, 3 themes are showing up. Quarterback leadership, competition in the trenches, depth across the roster. That's exactly where a program should be before spring ball starts. And the best part is we're about to see some practice clips. We're about to have practice reports. We're going to see players starting to stand out, units starting to form chemistry, and me sitting right here in front of this camera having a great time, bringing you all the energy and talking about it every single day, every single week. That's when the real football conversations begin. But once the whistle blow, we'll finally see what we've been waiting to see, what this UCLA football team is going to look like. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, it's 100% free. If you bleed that blue and gold, you need to be rocking with me every day, 5 days a week. UCLA Football TV hosted by West 739. Forza.